the 3F rule here in Venezuela. How to apply it? Well, today we discuss.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
There is a colloquial saying in finance, this comes from the United States mostly, is that regarding financials, there is a 3F rule. If the thing flies, floats, or fornicates, you don't buy it, you rent. And today we're going to discuss how to manage this in Venezuela. The first one is the float. So it's boats, speedboats, sailor boats, yachts, stuff of that nature. Well, I'm not an expert on the navigation department, but I have a few friends that have, I have consulted for this particular regard throughout the years. They are very enthusiastic regarding navigation. So, that I'm from Lecheria. You have a bunch of navigation canals and marinas and so on. Well, usually the first no-no regarding finance is buying a boat, a yacht, something of that nature. Well, however, in Venezuela, if you really love it, I'm talking, you really love navigation, you like boats and the sea. By the way, the lifestyle is very appealing. Not my cup of tea because I like to stay home. But occasionally, I like to, navigate a little bit. Well, when I get invited, because right now I don't own one of those things. However, if you love it, in Venezuela, could be a decent, it could be cents of the dollar compared to most parts in the world. Because first, you have to pay the thing, the boat, the yacht, whatever. According to a friend that knows about this particular thing, basically in Venezuela, this is in Venezuela, they are two levels play that. You have the lower end and the high end. The high end could be actually, you can end up for a used unit, yacht, something like that. You can pay a premium for that. So unless you are very big and you know a lot about navigation, I discourage you of paying a premium. But still you can get it cheaper compared to other parts, in the world, especially in the Americas, regarding navigation. So if you want to spend $100,000 or something on a beautiful yacht, something like that, that's kind of the ballpark. There are 300 to 50, something like that. So if that's your thing, go ahead, knock yourself out. However, there is the cheap side. I mean, I'm talking cheap on this particular market, not like you're cheap, because these things are not cheap, of course. But you can get actually very good deals. You can buy a speedboat for less than $10,000, something like that. And you can get a yacht, something like that, for if you do your own due diligence or you hire someone to do the due diligence, you can get a yacht actually for less than $30,000. So that's a good deal for a yacht. Very good. Also, we have a bunch of marinas and an economy around that particular world. Supplies, the engines, all of the things that you need, the mechanical things and the static things for keeping, because these things cost a lot of money, not only to purchase, because actually in Venezuela is, like I said, it's cheap to get one of these units, these navigation units, boats and yachts and so on. But what is going to be costly is the maintenance. We have a bunch of qualified people talking mechanics and captains and sailors and people from that world that are not a specialist. So you can get a nice cheap yacht or boat. Then you can put it on the marina. Marinas are not, we have a bunch of marinas here in Venezuela. Of course, you need a coastal city or something, or in Lecheria that you have even the canals and something. We have a bunch of marinas, by the way. I worked in a marina once, but not on that particular regard. Story for another day. And you see a bunch of boats, you have a bunch of people that work specifically for the navigation work. So you're going to have the people that has the know-how, also the pieces and the parts and so on. But it's going to cost you money. Of course, that's the issue about owning a boat, that is a lot of expenses after you pay for the boat, and also the marina, you have to pay the marina. But it's way cheaper here in Venezuela compared to Europe and the United States. If you like that particular lifestyle, and I mean, you have money that doesn't hurt you, spend, let's say, $25,000 for a nice boat, a few $100s per month on the maintenance and the marina and so on, and maybe $1,000 in the future for, redoing the engine or something like that. I'm not an expert. And you can have a nice toy here in the country, and believe me, it's going to give you the good side, it's going to give you status. Also, networking is going to be excellent because you can invite people. Hey, let's check out even the people, let's say the rich people that you want to meet, they have nicer boats just for the sheer fun of the curiosity of, this guy buy a 25,000 yacht or 25,000. Let's check it out. I mean, I'm gonna bring some scotch. That's why people here in yachts drink. Okay. And also for dating, it's gonna help you a lot. I mean, 10x. You can 10x. That's like an crypto investing. If you get a yacht here in the country, it's like buying Bitcoin where it was $5,000, something like that. It's gonna increase a lot your dating market as well. But I mean, and also, if you do such thing, do it for yourself. Do it because you love it. Going to the beach, arriving on the yacht, and so on, or just navigating the canals and the beaches and the small islands close to the marinas. Also, if you like it, very good. Do your thing. On that particular regard, on the rest of the world, it's a no-no buying your own boat. Here in Venezuela, if you're going to use it long-term, something that you really enjoy, you can purchase one and have it for yourself if you're going to spend a lot of time here on the country. But also you can rent one. Also, it's going to be relatively cheap. Let's say 50% of what you will pay in other parts. For instance, for a small yacht, I'm talking a small one, a boat. Let's say you pay $1,000 for the day. Just an example, in Greece, place like that. Well, here in Venezuela, you can pay $400, $500, depending on yacht and so on. So this is just a rule of thumb. So, as a guy in finance, if you want to buy a boat, not rent it, rent or buy, depends up to you. If you really love it, just go for it and buy one. And you can sell it, let's say, 80 cents on the dollar, take the small loss. That's the worst case. That's, of course, we don't want to lose money, but you can take a shot. It's not going to be prohibitive expensive if you can afford it. But also, if you want to stay just a few weeks every now and then, you can rent it, but you're losing the possibility of networking and, building a social circle on the long term. The second thing is fly. So we're talking about private planes. I'm not an expert on this particular field. However, I heard stories that in Venezuela, actually Venezuela is one of the countries, I don't have the exact number, but regarding private plane ownership per capita, Venezuela is actually one of the highest in the world. I'm not going to discuss why. So you can own one, and maybe you can find some deals here as well. Of course, a lot of maintenance, a lot of expenses, and so on. So if you really need it, what I would recommend, on this particular case, I'm going to go with the rent. Yes. I believe in Venezuela is not as expensive. You can maybe get deals of a few $100, maybe $1,000 per one short flight, something like that. So if you really need a private plane here in the country, something that I'm going towards renting just for a day or for a flight, whatever might be the case. So you can rent it. There are services that rent those properties. So there is a market, a heavy market for a small country like Venezuela as well. But long term is up to you, and you're a licensed pilot, something like that, you can do it as well. But on this particular case, I'm tilting more towards rent. And the last one, the third thing is regarding the 3F, and is, let's say, I'm going to use an M instead of an F maybe. Okay, you want to rent or buy a date? Let's put it, please take it with a grain of salt. Just a playful video. It's just food for thought video. Well, regarding dating, short-term, long-term, depends. Short-term buying, I mean, of course, it's a human being. You cannot rent a human being legally, presume. Well, then let's go with the legal side. First, make it legal, that everyone is on the same page. You can date short-term, of course, if you have certain status, you can short-term your way throughout your lifetime here in Venezuela. But also there are decent quality for mid-term dating, so say for a few months or a few years, cool people. And something I have to say about Venezuelan women, this is something I love, I probably love the most about Venezuelan women. Usually, the rest of the world, when you see a beautiful, a very, I'm talking a hottie, a baddie, they usually are, people that they're unpleasant. They're unpleasant to be with. Meanwhile, here in Venezuela, women are beautiful and also very fun to hang out with. Of course, depends on the girl. So there are a bunch of hotties that are unpleasant, but you're gonna have fun figuring that out. And so you can build a short, a mid-term relationship. Now you can go on a long-term relationship if you fill the criteria of the strata of the women that you want to date. They're gonna be ride or die. They're gonna be fun. They're gonna be supportive. Also, well, you know how this thing works. It's gonna be a pain on the rear end on a few occasions every now and then. But if you like it, go ahead. Actually, Venezuelan men like to go long term. Don't ask me why. And getting married, well, that depends, of course, on the case. I'm not, anyone, I mean, I'm not the most maybe adequate person in order to say this. I'm not married. I don't plan to get married as well, but I have a bunch of friends that are already married. I have a bunch of divorced friends as well. And the ones that are married, they seem happy, actually. And the ones that actually got divorced, I have a cohort of friends that they got married the first time, got divorced, right away got married again. And then on their second marriages, they seem happy. A particular one on the third marriage is where, okay, third marriage, that's, no, I'm not going to do it a third time. So depends up to you if you like to be married or not. Some men need that. I don't particularly. But if I get married, maybe it will be a fellow Venezuelan woman, and I had opportunities a couple times, just not my cup of tea, and that these particular broads wanted to get married, so okay, go ahead and find someone else. I don't want to, and this is more of a personal issue, a personal thing. You have to consider yourself. But marrying a Venezuelan depends on the case, but yeah, go ahead as well. Why not? And please, today, take everything I said with a grain of salt. This is just a fun video. It's a weekend video. Not everything in life is GDP, economics, dollars and cents, or real estate, or politics, or geopolitics, and so on. So, please, just a fun video. A little bit food for thought for the soul, just for the weekend.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again, and have a nice day.